Finally. Welcome, everybody. Rambling Review. Up. Disney Pixar's Up.
Yay.
Finally. I've been talking about doing this as a review for a while.
Yeah.
Like a good while.
And this has been on that list of... this has been on my list of movies I need to set out to watch one of these days for a very long time.
Yep. And we finally did it. So, the first 10 minutes.
So, you got your mouse in the middle of the... Rambling Review, everybody! We're at maximum professionalism around here.
So, the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, so this is the part that I actually had seen before because they showed it in like one of my
Because
college
of course they would.
Because yeah, literally you could
That could be
a standalone short film and it would be a masterpiece.
Could be like one of Pixar's top 3 best shorts they've ever made. It'd be near, if not number 1, it'd be in top 2. Like the music, just the whole thing, just
yeah.
No talking, no dialogue.
And just like the way they transition through like every aspect of the scene, from like the actual what's happening in the scene to the colors, the emotion on Carl's face, the music transitioning, but still being the same melody. It's, oh my gosh, it's so brilliant.
Yeah, if there's not college theses on how that scene works, who am I kidding? There are.
Again, I saw that scene in one of my college classes.
Yeah. Like, it's the one thing everyone remembers of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, no question about it.
And it's really the perfect setup for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, we said we were going to talk about it for like 15 minutes, but I feel like it's almost one of those situations where it's like, yeah, it's so good, what do we even say?
Yeah, I think it's definitely like a Star Wars A New Hope issue where it's like, what the fuck do we say about it? It's near flawless.
I don't have the chops to explain to you why it's as good as it is, because the people who made it are way smarter than me.
And also, the people who have talked about it in 1.5 hour of commentaries on the scene.
Yeah, there are people much smarter than us who explained it better than we ever could.
So, what about the rest of the movie?
Honestly, knowing that before I watched this movie, I was kind of afraid that the rest of the movie would feel disappointing in comparison. It doesn't.
Nope.
Like, yes, that is the best part of the movie. The rest of the movie is still amazing.
Man, it's like Pixar was on a roll around this time or something.
Yeah.
In fact, I think this is one of the last ones that this was one of the last times where everyone said this movie is damn near flawless and we can't find any problems with it. Because I think after this was Toy Story 3, and then it kind of went downhill for a bit.
I mean, it was...
And then it went really downhill.
Toy Story 3 was in the previews.
Previews.
On the Blu-ray, so I think you're right.
Yep. No, DVDs.
DVD, I'm sorry.
How dare you think this movie's that young?
You're making me feel as old as Carl.
I'm the one that said DVD. You're the one that's saying young stuff like Blu-ray. Anyway. Yeah, do we start off with the characters or the plot?
Characters.
Okay. Kevin? He's the easy one. Funny bird do funny noise.
Did you just assume Kevin's gender?
Russell did.
Can I just point out that that's like such a common experience among pet owners? I know multiple people who have owned a pet that they gave a name for one gender and then realized it was that the animal was the other gender.
My dog was named Stick. She was a girl.
Yep. My sister has a cat named Nova who she realized like 2 years after getting her that she was a he. And then there was my friends who had a cat named Jade, who turned out to be a boy, so they renamed him Jaden.
So Kevin? Funny bird, do funny things.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably wouldn't enjoy... Honestly, I don't think I wasn't like super crazy into just the goofy antics of Kevin. I would be like, it's kind of funny, but I'm not like super into it. It's nothing that I haven't seen in 100 other animated family films.
Yep.
But the fact that it ends up being like that she ends up being like a major character.
She's literally the MacGuffin.
Yeah. So she's good, and I appreciate her being here. She's not like my favorite character, but she needs to be there, obviously, and she does her job well.
All right. Doug?
Maybe this
How about the character that everyone quoted from this movie when it came out? Like all the kids' favorite part of the movie.
I don't know what it is about the dogs. Maybe it's just because I love dogs so much that even though it probably still falls into that family movie comedy category, it just lands for me way better.
Yeah, I think the thing that makes it work is that it is exactly how to do an animated dog that can talk.
Yeah.
Like, it is the definition of it, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's because, like, it's a near universal experience at least in like America and other first world countries and stuff. Mm-hmm. You probably have interacted with a dog before. You know what they're like.
Yep.
So seeing them like give it a voice, it's like, yeah, that is exactly how I imagined my dog to. That is exactly how we've all imagined our dogs would speak if they could.
Just ADHD nutcases.
Yeah.
That call people mailmen and such. You're either a master or a mailman.
Well, I'm a master mailman. The greatest of all mailmen.
The dog's really conflicted when his master is the mailman.
Is he a master or is he a mailman? Master, mailman, master, mailman. Ah!
Both these static noises.
Squirrel!
Hi there.
Dog is a very good boy.
All the dogs are pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, I enjoy all the dogs and how they kind of give them a little bit of different personalities, and freaking Alpha is just, I am the coolest.
I am the coolest, greatest dog!
Indubitably! He just thinks he's so cool.
I'm just imagining the actor being told, by the way, we're gonna pitch up every single one of the lines you gave us.
By the way, his Deep Voice Alpha sounds exactly like the what is it called? It's like the Xbox. It's like the Xbox party games. I can't remember what they're called. Yeah, I can't remember. Darn it!
I'm not the one to say.
But there's like a horror-themed trivia game, and the announcer has like the exact same voice.
Oh, you mean the Jackbox
Oh,
one?
Jackbox, yeah.
Like the horror Jackbox
Yeah,
one?
the horror Jackbox game. It's like the same voice.
Trivia Murder Party, I think it is.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get it on. It kinda does, now that you mention it. Do we do the two main characters or the villain?
The villain.
Charles Muntz.
Charlie.
Amazing build-up at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
We learn about him before we learn about the main character.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, never meet your heroes, kids.
Yeah. Like, just the fact that, like, they imply multiple times that he's, like...
He just kills.
He just kills people. And he's literally like, okay, I need to deal with Russell. I'm gonna get my gun. I have a literal gun.
How about the fact, Fredrickson must be nearby. Let me put the kid on the thing and just slide him out of my airship while we're in flight.
Yeah.
Tied to a chair.
He's, yeah, gutsy stuff for a family film. And I always appreciate when they have the guts to do stuff like that in a family film.
Yeah, where it's like this is a movie about a house that's brought to a mountain by balloons. Here's the villain with a gun who has a kill count.
and has no qualms about adding a child to it.
Or the fact that he's probably has a lot of inbreeding with the dogs when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Especially when a bunch of them have died previously. So it's like he's been in Paradise Falls since Fredrickson was a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, he gets the Disney villain death. Just falls.
Whee!
Also, the fact that he doesn't even scream, he just gasps.
Mm-hmm.
And just plummets. Like, he doesn't scream no or anything, he's just like, what? It's like really real there. Russell?
Russell's fun. They do. You can tell that the writers have children.
Yep.
Because he acts like a child.
Yeah.
It's delightful.
Like, they have the perfect blend of annoying kid, but also this is exactly what a kid's like.
Yeah.
Like, they don't go too far with him, and I'm really glad they don't.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I like, actually, is that after the falling out, he's still with Fredricksen for a while, because he's, like, trying to figure out what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like other movies where the kid would just walk off and do his own thing. He actually thinks on his own for a bit.
Yeah, and that also doesn't put Carl in the position of being like, oh, the kid is going off on his own.
Well, fine, I'm going!
Fine, whatever. Like, he's still, like, he's a responsible adult.
Yeah.
They keep maintaining him as being, like, a responsible adult, and...
Yeah, they avoid the traps with that trope.
Yeah.
Really well. Is that all for Russell, or do we get to the hard part?
I guess we get to the hard part.
Carl Fredricksen.
And Ellie.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Talk about Ellie with him.
Yeah. For a character who's only there for 10 minutes, good God, she's pretty much a main character.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you can see that Ellie moved on and Carl didn't.
Yeah.
And that it takes him seeing her scrapbook to figure out that she was able to move on, and that he does as well.
Yeah. I just want to say that there's so many like little things that are like cool metaphors that they kind of have in this movie, where it's like Ellie's picture on the wall they use as a metaphor several times.
Mm-hmm.
For like him, like
the house is pretty much her.
Yeah.
At that point.
And like I also thought it was really cool the part where he like throws all of his stuff out of the house to go after Russell.
It literally is putting the past behind him.
Literally putting the past behind him because it's weighing him down.
Yeah.
The
metaphor.
I don't even need to explain that metaphor.
It's flawless showing of it's flawless representation.
Yeah, it's.
Honestly, that's the best part of this movie. Is just it doesn't need to tell you everything. It just shows it for a bunch of scenes. Like all of the best scenes of this movie have no dialogue.
Yeah, it's just. They don't need you just see what's happening and they don't need to tell you what it means. You know exactly what the writers are trying to tell you with this scene.
It's one of those things that I think is lost on a lot of children's media, where it's like children can understand it.
Yeah, it's just absolutely brilliant writing.
Yes. We're saying brilliant writing on a scene with no words. That's how good the writing good it is. And also one thing that I'm also really glad for, because I know a lot of people who think that just Fredricksen is just the annoying old man who's just angry all the time, because that's what he's always seen as in promotional art and such. No, he's a freaking snark. He's got some funny moments in him throughout the whole movie. Like he just fucks with people, and it's amazing.
Yeah. You also, as we kind of alluded to before a little bit, he's still a responsible person, a responsible, decent person for the most part.
No. Okay, come on. You can come in.
Like, it's kind of like he has like a it's like almost like a sort of conflict between feeling like he needs to keep his promise to Ellie, but also like still be a decent person.
Honestly, it's another thing where it's like not looking on the past. Don't act childish.
Yeah.
You gotta be the adult now.
Yeah, and I also just want to mention the scene where they actually get the house to Paradise Falls.
And he just sits there in a dark room.
It's like it is like the most.
Well, I did it. Now what?
Like there's no sense of triumph or anything. It's just, well, we
I did it.
I guess.
Yeah. It's exactly what it needs to be. Like, there's just so many scenes in this movie like that where it's like, it's just so good. Also adorable house landing there anyway at the end.
Yeah.
Where it's like, technically all she did was bring her to Paradise Falls. He did. He did in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Do we even have anything else? Watch it if you haven't. Do we even need to? Do we even need to say that?
Yeah, honestly, like, I would say, like, even if you haven't watched this movie and you just spoiled yourself on the whole movie, watch it anyway. It's that good.
Find your own interpretations of it.
Like, this is one of those movies where it's like.
Also, if you haven't watched it in a few years, watch it. It's better than I remembered.
Yeah, it's.
I was one of the people who only remembered the first 10 minutes and then just a little bits here and there.
Yeah, it's. This movie's so good.
I haven't watched WALL-E in a few years. I think that's the only Pixar movie I know of that kind of battles this one for my top in them.
Mm.
Like, Incredibles is amazing, but it doesn't make me feel like those two do.
Yeah, I think Incredibles probably beats out Up just by nostalgia for me. I think this is probably this might be a better movie. I might say this is a better movie than The Incredibles, but
yeah, better movie, not my favorite though. That kind of deal.
Yeah, because
The
Incredibles is basically a classic for me.
Which we'll get to.
I grew up on that movie, and I've seen it so many gosh dang times. But yeah, Up is. I'm very glad that I've finally seen it.
Yep. Finally. Took long enough. And if you guys haven't, do so. And if you have, watch it again. Watch it after a few years. Pass it on to people who haven't seen it or like you have.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good enough movie.